Man, I guess I owe everybody an apology from A to Z. I've been in a bad mood lately. I guess you guys have noticed that. I've been in a really bad mood. I came here to the gig community to learn a little bit, and I did. And then I heard a lot of things that. Let me ask you guys a question. Just be honest with yourselves for a second. If you got ridiculed by anybody, first thing that you would think to say is, I don't care. Don't bug me. I'm tough. I got thick skin. Yeah, I think we all know that song and dance. My problem is that I'm not built that way. I don't have a thick or a thin skin. I have a depth that gets reached, and when that depth gets reached, I speak. So, I tend to speak my mind, even when it's not pleasant or complimentary. Sometimes it's downright rude and disgusting. That's who I am. That's how I've always been. My entire life I've been this exact way. Probably why I got picked on in school, because the guys that wanted me to follow their lead weren't too happy with me. They never really saw me as the guy that they wandered around in their mom's basement to listen to Pink Floyd and smoke Winston cigarettes. I was never that guy. I never got to be that guy. I'll never be that guy. It was a long time in the making for me to become who I am today. I learned early on in life that making other people happy is damn near impossible, if not just a waste of fucking time. Because even when you make them happy, they'll still find a reason to get mad at you anyway. So, it's like they say about opinions, everybody has one. Well, I'm opinionated as hell. I just am. And when I see something that doesn't make sense to me, I point it out. So what I mean by an apology is that, hey man, I thought that we were at a boxing ring, okay? Because that's the impression I got. I really did. I thought we were in a boxing ring, going back and forth and having fun. I didn't realize that there's some people here that take this stuff very seriously. They are the type of people that I remember from high school that never said anything. They don't talk. They just listen. And you'd hear about them later, or find out later that they became doctors or nurses or started their own small businesses and things like that. The ones that didn't get involved. Because you always thought those were the outsiders. No, actually, it's the people that are yelling the loudest and creating all types of animosity. Those are the ones that fail. Well, I didn't fail, per se. What I did do was take for granted the fact that I was in this here gig community as I've been putting it, the drama horror, or the community horror. That's just the way I saw it, and that's the way it's always been. I've tried many times to reason with people or let things go, and then they turn right around and do it again. And I just got burned out. I went numb to it, and I just nobody's going to impress me ever. And if you come in here to YouTube to be impressed by somebody because they say something nice about you, you're in the wrong place, because I don't believe that shit stands. It doesn't. I don't think it ever has. As soon as somebody new comes around or an old friend shows back up, everybody goes to the same fucking corner of the auditorium and fucking hides a little bit or gets pissed off and comes out swinging. There's really no wind to it. Either all this is true or I miss watching the Bengals play, like the NFL. I think the NFL is more of a fun sport because it's kind of a way to vent too. You see guys getting chopped down. It makes you not want to chop anybody down. It's like you live vicariously through someone's like, oh, that felt good to watch him get chopped down. Especially when you think he was wrong or too egotistical or whatever. The bitch of it is that I've been watching Brash Dasher, and his acceptance rate's down to 59, 57 today, I think it was. Well, actually, that was yesterday. His videos are delayed by one day for editing. Something I thought about getting back into is editing, but after what I've watched, the best of the best complain, and the worst of the worst switch gears and start talking about how can we make this a positive place. And then the ones that you didn't even realize that you stomped on are crying. They're actually crying. I have never seen anything like that before until I came to YouTube. People actually cry in public to prove a point. I'm like, wow, that deserves 3 beers. This is my second one. There's a third beer on the way somewhere. So I listened to everybody. I've talked about everybody. I've dissected everything. I've challenged myself to try their way on DoorDash. Not one damn thing has ever worked for me. Nothing. Not one piece of it. The only thing that's ever worked for me was doing it my way and seeing what worked. And then I can only thank myself for it. Even knowing I had some decent advice some 2 years ago when I first started DoorDash, I came to YouTube for direction. And I got it. And the most positive people, I've already given them shout outs. Like Mr. Fleiss. He was a positive person. The DoorDash Revolution was a positive person. Everybody else is a character, in my opinion. I don't see Flex as a character. I see him as a moderator. You know what I mean? A moderator. Now, you can see that how you want to. I know everybody's going to have an opinion on that, like I did, but in my opinion, still pretty strict. Anybody that's running a show and getting paid to run the show, I always have my doubts, but I'll give the man a little bit of credit. He's holding his own. So you can't damn a man for holding his own. You really can't. I can't. I can't. That would be called jealousy, and I'm far from jealous. I don't get anything or nothing gets taken from me by watching Flex, DoorDash Revolution, or anybody else, even my trolls for that matter. Anybody takes that shit seriously, they need to look deep down inside their soul and ask themselves why they are paying so much attention to what's being said and done on YouTube. Or for that matter, anybody in real life that's offended by being cut off in traffic, or somebody at Walmart cutting you off, or somebody laughing at you, or somebody telling you that you're good looking. It's like, you really shouldn't look at yourself as somebody that can be labeled. If you do, then you're going to get labeled, and it's going to hurt, or it's going to make you feel better. Either way, you're going to lose in the end until you feel good about yourself. Nobody else should be able to change that. Nobody else should be able to make you feel bad about yourself either. I guess I took that to the extreme because I noticed I pissed a lot of people off, which is fine. I've been doing that my whole life. I pissed the wrong people off. What I mean by wrong people is I thought they could handle it, and they didn't. They didn't handle me at all well. They took the whole thing and made it out to be much uglier than it actually was. I thought I was just following the herd, and like, this is drama. I've watched Roy, and I've watched Dino, and I've watched Flex, and Hot Facts with Robert Reese is even full of drama. I'm sorry, but he is. I'm not sorry in that way. I'm sorry for... I should have explained this before. I don't think that Hot Facts with Robert Reese is a bad guy at all. The only way he gets his news, most of the time in the past, has been by the lounge. I told him this before. I don't know if he liked it. I don't think he did. I should have apologized to him is what I should have done. I should have apologized to Hot Facts with Robert Reese for sticking him in the oven, which is basically what I did when I said that. That the only news he's getting, the only news he's reporting on is coming out of this pyramid of trolls, as I call it now. I say it like it's a bad thing. All these channels are full of trolls. You can just read the comments and see you got trollism. I just pointed that out. Hot Facts with Robert Reese has got a real shot at doing the news. I think he's got game. A good game. Too late. I've already pissed him off, and then I also pissed off the Rev. I know I did. I saw an hour and a half thing, which I haven't watched yet. I don't know that I need to. I'm very good at reading people. That's one of my weaknesses. You guys might call that a strength, but I call it a weakness. When you can read people right off the bat, it kind of takes the fun out of things because you already know what's going on. There's no investigation required. And I know I pissed off the Rev. I know I did. And I get that. But I didn't do anything to him directly. He knows that. I don't think he likes the path I'm on. I don't think he likes it. I don't think he respects it. I don't think he wants me involved with it. And I totally fucking get that because I've been there myself. I mean, I've looked at the Rev, I've looked at Top Facts with Robert Reese, and the very people they're talking about that are total dicks or assholes or liars or manipulators. That's all they talk about. They call it the news and they call it keeping it real. At the end of the day, we all know what they're watching, don't we? And that's why I need to apologize to the Rev. Rev has been one of the nicest guys I've met on here, to be honest, and I don't think I've impressed him too much lately. Not that I'm here to impress him, but, you know, I did like it better when he was impressed, to be honest with you, because guys like that don't come around every day. They just don't. You can find a guy like Flex around every corner. No offense, Flex, but you can. You know, your panel pretty much sounds like you every day. Every night, I should say. I'm sorry. Every night. Everybody on the Flex's live just sounds just like the Flex. Every once in a while, Willie will pop off and pull a TORP 2.0, but can you blame him? Someone's got to break the monotony up. And I think I overstepped myself is what I did. I admit it when I'm wrong. I overstepped myself. It really isn't my place to call out Flex and to call out Roy and Dino, or really even say anything whatsoever about Reese or Rev, or even my old school trolls that are still haunting me today. It doesn't mean that they're wrong and I'm right. It means that I welcome myself into this community and I thought I'd just dig in, put my heels in the sand and go. And here we are. So, my apologies to all those that I offended. I know that Lisa's probably pissed off. She also made a 35-minute video, which is a fucking record for her. I can only imagine, because I can read titles, guys. I can read them. I don't have to watch the videos. I can read the titles. And I don't think she's none the happy. And I know Rev's none the happy. I think Flex cares. He cares about everything. He may say he don't, but I think he cares. I don't think he gives a fuck. If you let that sink in, it'll make sense. But for those of you at Real Linda, when you care, that means you get upset. That means you don't like something that's been done. That means caring. When you don't give a fuck, it's like, it didn't hurt my feelings. I just think he's an asshole. That's what I've been trying to say. I don't give a fuck, you know. Like I'm going to let somebody else's opinion of me go the distance. I'm not going to do that. I've done that. That's how I started on YouTube fucking 20 years ago. I ain't doing that no more. You better not, any of you. Nobody. So whoever is mad at me or doesn't like me now or is disgusted by me, you better remember where you're at. It's going to come back and haunt you. You can't let people on YouTube in any way, shape, or form any type of opinion within yourself. No expression required. You don't need one. You don't need to tell people the truth. You don't need to tell people a lie. You don't need to tell people anything. You need to be yourself and stay the course. And that's what I've been doing. But when I feel like apologizing, I'll go ahead and say it. And I think I may have pushed a few people too hard. And I know when I'm being too hard. And I think I've been too hard in the last few videos. I've probably been too hard. I don't think it's completely necessary. I'm having fun, but I've had my fun. So now I would like to say I'm sorry to all those that I offended that didn't necessarily have it coming, and like innocent bystanders kind of thing, that situation. So take it for what you will, guys. I wasn't here to just be a dick. First time I ever went on to the lounge, I got treated like shit. Right off the bat, I got treated like shit. Dino came at me and fucking Sensei came at me. I didn't even know who these guys were, but they should have fucking knew who I was. Or at least they acted like they knew who I was. It's like, well, that's a rude awakening. And then I got labeled for saying something that I think everybody knew that I made a mistake on saying. But they ran with it. So how is that better than what I've been doing? How is that better? Is one lie better than another lie? Is one manipulation better than another manipulation? Is it because you got more friends than I do that it makes you right even when you're wrong? That's the impression that I've had over the last few months. That's why I've been getting so upset. It's like, does anybody else see this? Oh dawned on me. Why don't you practice what you preach? You know where you're at. This is not going to make sense. This is never supposed to make sense. YouTube gay community is not going to make sense. Most of these inner circles of drama never make sense. At the end of the day, they always disperse to it. It's not about if they're going to, it's when they do. And they will. Because I noticed that even Brash Dasher is no longer a top dasher. He gave it up. As soon as I started talking about that, I noticed that the reps started getting very quiet on it. All due respect, man. I feel you, bro. I feel you, brother. It's not what you wanted to hear, and I get that, because I've been hearing a lot of stuff I don't want to hear. It's not that simple, man. You give somebody fist pumps and shit. I mean, you need to give them fist pumps even when you disagree with them, for keeping it real. Am I wrong or right about that, guys? So, yeah, I think this Sunday is a time for reflection. I think that we've all learned a valuable lesson here. I call people out. It's what I do. And when I get to the end of that rainbow, I'll let you guys know. And today's the end of that rainbow. I've called everybody out there is to call out. Everybody knows how I feel. I'd still have I'm not asking for anybody to do this, but I'd still have a beer with Dino. I'd have a beer with... I would literally have a beer and play pool with Roy. I would. I swear to God I would. I'd play him for $1 a game, and I'd do shots, and I think we'd have a pretty good time bullshitting about the tubes. I really do. I think we'd have a good time. I mean, just laughing our asses off at how stupid it actually all really, at the end of the day, is. I had everybody else, if they were in the bar, I wouldn't have a fight with any of them. I wouldn't want to punch anybody. I'd be like, this, you guys are a riot. You gave me a lot to talk about, a lot to think about, and a lot to dive into, and I appreciate it. I do. Because without you guys, I wouldn't have had a fucking sounding wall for the last 6 months. So who am I to complain? You guys know my drill. I'm never getting paid to be here. I'm never going to get anything out of this other than self-satisfaction or potentially learning something from you guys still. You can always learn something from somebody. My pappy told me that a long time before he died. I used to continually gripe to him about people that drove me nuts. And he told me if I shut the fuck up and listen, you can literally learn something from somebody you hate. You can actually learn something from them if you shut the fuck up and listen, even though it gets painful. My dad was really good at that. He could talk to anybody. So I think that it's time for me to say goodbye to the drama in the gay community. Goodbye to the hellacious videos that basically crack porcelain when I talk. It's not good for me either. I vented, I spoke my mind, and I think it's time for my mentality to go back to normal and actually maybe even follow through with something I told the Rev about. I'm thinking about, just for fun, I'm thinking about doing some ride-alongs. Thinking about picking up a $30 camera from Walmart and just sticking it on my windshield and going for it. I used to have one of those. I lost it. I'm not using my phones for that. So I'm thinking about doing that, and I can upload those. And you know what? I'll probably lose all 10 subscribers that I've gotten over the last 6 months, the new ones in this community. I'll probably get 0 comments. I'll probably get all thumbs down, no thumbs up. I would probably be talking to myself, but I'll enjoy it. I think that's when you win, is when you're doing what you enjoy, regardless of what anybody else thinks about you. That's when you win. That's when life becomes yours. This place is interesting. I haven't seen it in a long time. Last time I did this, it ended badly. So, I was glad to see me able to do this again, and with you guys. I have enjoyed meeting each and every one of you, and I mean that on me. Every single person that I've talked good or bad about, I've enjoyed every single one of you. It's been a pleasure. I'm not leaving, but I am going to change course. I'm gonna leave my videos up though. It's who I am. It's what I am. I'm not gonna hide that. So enjoy the ride. I hope you guys did, because it's over. I'll see you guys on the new TORP channel here in a little bit. TORP out.